welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing my 2-week postpartum update. So baby is finally here. This is my first video filming with him, apart from obviously the name and gender reveal. I will link that if you haven't seen it already. As you can see, I am breastfeeding and he is doing so well at breastfeeding. I am going to talk a bit about breastfeeding today, how that's going. I'm also going to talk about my recovery from my 3rd C-section, and I'm going to tell you just generally how the last 2 weeks have been with a newborn baby, whilst also managing an almost 2-year-old and a 4.5-year-old. So I have wrote notes because I'm not going to lie, the baby brain is still ever much present, so I will keep looking down, but it is just because I'm looking at my phone and generally checking what he is up to. But it makes sense to talk a little bit about breastfeeding first, since that's what I'm currently doing. So in the first few days he struggled with latching on one side. To be honest, he still does, and I would actually say he's quite a lazy latcher. Which did make me very sore on this side, to the point, I think it was day 2, yeah, it was by about day 2 or 3, I actually had cracked bleeding nipple on that side. And I will show you, or I don't know where I have some nipple cream that I put on, and I can't believe actually how well it worked. I was really impressed with it. I will link it down below because I was, and like I'll put a picture and stuff as well, because I was just super impressed that it did actually heal quite quickly. I just fed through the pain, and I'm not gonna lie, the pain was holy, yeah, it was. I just dreaded feeding him on that side. I really dreaded it. It literally made me want to be sick when he latched on. And because, like I say, he is a lazy latcher, he kind of doesn't like to open his mouth super wide like they should do. And he, even now, he's still at 2 weeks old, is still quite a lazy latcher at times. Sometimes he can latch absolutely perfectly straight away, and then other times it's like 10-15 minutes of me trying to like squish and contort my breast in any way possible to make it perfect for him to latch on, and he's just like not opening his mouth wide enough, and then he's like licking it, and because I'm leaking, and it's just a whole ordeal in itself. But yeah, I'm so glad that I mean, I know I could have probably used something like a nipple shield, but I've never used anything like that before. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was really difficult, and I can see why first time mums can so easily give up, because it was super painful. But I did get through it, and I don't have cracked bleeding nipples anymore. Literally within maybe 1 to 2 days, the nipple cream, I was putting it on just as and when, very often, and it just seemed to completely clear it up, and I just continued feeding on that side, even reluctantly through the pain. And now we do feed without pain. It's just now the painful part is when it is like 2 in the morning and he is prattling about and doesn't want to latch, and I'm losing the will to live because I'm so tired and I really want to sleep. But let me just check what else I have to say about breastfeeding. So yeah, the rugby ball position actually did help with the poor latching and stuff. I think because he likes laying on this side. I mean, we haven't done it loads since it, but in the first few days when it was really sore, he did seem to prefer laying this way. So on this side I would feed him under my arm, and that did seem to help. But generally most of the times now I'll either feed him like this, like I don't need a breastfeeding pillow or anything, he's quite fine like feeding like this and stuff. And he has finished, so I will try and very discreetly cover myself back up. But yeah, I don't use the breastfeeding pillow or anything. Every now and again I'll put a pillow or a cushion underneath, but most of the time I just feed him like this, or a lot of the time we have actually been co-sleeping, following completely safe co-sleeping guidelines. We follow the Lullaby Trust guidelines, which promote safe sleep and prevention of cot death and sudden infant death syndrome. They're a charity that supported us through the loss of our daughter, so I already knew a lot about safe co-sleeping and generally safe sleep, but we have realised that it just didn't make sense to be up all night with a screaming baby that just doesn't want to settle when we could actually be getting some sleep, and it has made a big difference. We wish we had done this actually with our first. We really wish we had co-slept. There are some downsides to co-sleeping. Actually, the reason I was even mentioning co-sleeping is the fact that I actually feed laid down a lot, and that's just super easy and simple, and it's just I've always found with all my children that's just the easiest way to breastfeed, is just chill on the sofa or chill on the bed and just lie down and feed. Obviously you would never like sleep on the sofa with a baby, but it's fine for during the day if you just want an easier way of like watching TV and feeding. It's just sometimes an easier way of doing it. Are you awake? Oh, Mummy's phone is making noises. Oh, you burping. Yeah, that's pretty much everything in terms of breastfeeding. And yeah, like I say, we are generally co-sleeping. I'm gonna get this muslin ready because I just feel like this is all gonna, this milk is gonna come back up. Oh. Let's just try and get this gas up. So actually, one of the last things I have to say about breastfeeding that I haven't actually wrote down but I just remembered is that we have already had a few nights where he has cluster fed, and literally I have been pulling my hair out because I've been feeding him like it feels like non-stop. And I know they do go through growth spurts, and it was around the time that he should have been having a growth spurt, so it's not unexpected, it's just very difficult. And I do feel like maybe, I don't know what you guys think, let me know down in the comments below, but I did wonder whether a survival guide to cluster feeding might be helpful for you guys, or if there is any particular breastfeeding topics that you would love for me to do videos on. This is my third time breastfeeding. I have also expressed a little bit in the past for our daughter that was in SCBU. So I do have a little bit experience of expressing for like special care babies and the process of donating milk. I can talk about that if you would like. But also if there's anything you want to know about breastfeeding newborns, toddlers, what equipment or anything that you need, all the essentials, let me know down below if that is something that you'd be interested in, and I'd be more than happy to make a video with the longest period I have breastfed for is 21 months with my daughter. So I have experience with breastfeeding right into toddlerhood, and it's just crazy that I'm now back starting at scratch and doing the newborn breastfeeding, and we've started our journey again, and I'm so excited to see if I can beat my record of 21 months. I'm definitely, both other times that I have had that I've breastfed the other two and they've self-weaned, it has been when I've then been pregnant. So I'm definitely 100%. We have sorted contraception during surgery. Actually, I had the coil fitted, the copper coil, so I'm 100% not doing this again, like possibly ever, especially when I tell you about the recovery. It's just put me off for life. But yeah, I'm excited to see how long we go because I won't be getting pregnant this time, so whether we can beat our record of 21 months. But moving on now to tell you guys a little bit about the C-section recovery and my personal postpartum recovery, which I can tell you now, this has been my third C-section, my fourth birth. I have had a natural birth before, and I can't tell you how much I wish I could have had a VBAC. I wish I could have had a natural birth. I would have taken anything over the recovery that has been my third C-section. There was complications in surgery and I lost a lot of blood, so the next day, so we actually had Oakley on Christmas Eve and I was desperate to get home to my other kids on the next day for Christmas Day, but my body, I have naturally very low blood pressure, like really low blood pressure, and so because I'd lost a lot of blood and I was then anemic, the first time I got up was actually the next day after surgery. I didn't get up as early. Hey, okay. Oh dear. Hey. So I didn't get up as early as I kind of expected to, But when I did get up, I went to the toilet for the first time and I felt fine, and then the doctor came in and was talking to us, and I don't know how I managed to stand there even for the 5 minutes that she was in the room, and as soon as she left I went really wobbly. I was just very nauseous and I suddenly went super sleepy. It was really weird and quite scary for me. I don't know how I didn't collapse and faint. So this already was my worst in terms of just getting up and out of bed. I've never had that experience with my other surgeries, but of course with the blood loss, and I did then have really bad low blood pressure after this surgery, and it was quite consistent throughout the 24 plus hours after surgery, that it just was super low. But then moving on to when we got home, which we did actually manage to get home for Christmas Day. Hey, it's okay, it's okay, it's alright. Oh, let's move my hair out of the way. Hey. So since getting home, I have actually been back in hospital 4 times. 3 of the times were because my scar has been leaking. We actually had a midwife that came out to the home and she checked my scar where it was leaking because I was concerned, and it gushed fluid. It was gross. I wanted to vomit. It was just ugh. And apparently it's called serous fluid, and it's a natural thing that your body produces to help your body heal. But for some reason my body was producing excessive amounts, and obviously there was pockets and space for it to gather, and then it was oozing out of one side of my scar, which I've never had this issue before at all. So I did get put on a round of antibiotics, which I'm usually super reluctant, but on this occasion I was really scared, especially when it then did start to bleed as well and we couldn't stop the bleeding. So that has definitely been stressful, and emotionally it's been quite difficult. I've had to go back into hospital to actually the ward where my daughter was born, where I then had incidents that happened. It was actually the reason why we didn't choose the local hospital, but obviously for these reasons I had to go back into the local hospital. But I just had really bad memories from that hospital, and that's actually the reason I got postnatal depression last time. So it's been quite emotionally difficult to go back into a place that made me so unwell last time. Thankfully I seem to be coping. It's been emotionally quite difficult, and just worrying physically that there seems to be issues. So thankfully it has actually stopped oozing now. I'm so glad. But I do have a scan next week to just check and make sure that there are no pockets of pus or anything that would indicate there is still an infection there. And also the other reason why I've gone back into hospital was because I felt my coil that they fitted during surgery was falling out. There was actually the string hanging outside, but the reason that we then found out is because she had left the string super long, and also because she's fitted it at a time when my uterus was huge and my uterus is then contracting down, that then naturally these strings are going to get lower and lower. So as far as we are aware, the coil is still in place. They have checked, and as far as they can see, it is still in the uterus, which is good. But I do have also, the scan will then check that as well and make sure that it is in the right place, and then hopefully at the 6-week or 8-week check they will trim the cords and that should be fine. But it has, because I've never had a coil before, it was super scary, and I'm thinking, oh my god, like it's falling out. But they didn't want to like do anything because she actually put a stitch to keep it in place. So she did say that it could come out, but she tried to put a stitch in place to make sure that it didn't. But it's obviously just really scary for someone that's never had a coil before and doesn't know what's happening. So emotionally that was just the icing on top of the cake, and it's just been emotionally a roller coaster. But I don't feel like I'm getting depression. I don't think. I am monitoring it. I'm kind of seeing my perinatal mental health team to kind of maintain my mental health and look after myself from that aspect, and hopefully now the physical issues seem to be resolving themselves and I can just get to enjoying this adorable little baby. So I did actually notice that after surgery, and probably for about a week after, that my skin was super pale, which kind of took me by surprise as well. I've just really not responded well to this C-section, but I do think it was due to the anemia and significant blood loss. But thankfully I seem to be getting a little bit of colour back. I'm naturally super pale anyway, but like it was even shocking for me to see how pale I was. And yeah, my body just didn't seem to respond well with all these complications. But that's just one symptom and thing that I did notice postpartum wise that has happened in the first week of recovery. But one amazing thing that I do have to share is the rib pain that I mentioned literally for weeks and weeks and weeks with my pregnancy update. That rib pain has gone and I'm overwhelmed. I'm so happy to not be in that excruciating pain all the time, that I don't struggle to bend. I can generally, like, I don't have much pain anymore now. I probably haven't taken painkillers like religiously for at least a week now, so I only really had difficulty with the C-section pain for about a week and then I've been fine. That hasn't really been an issue, so I'm glad that I haven't really been in pain in that sense, and I don't have the rib pain anymore. The only actual pain I'm really struggling with is when we are co-sleeping. When I'm sleeping in like a C shape to make sure that he's safe, my shoulder kind of locks up and gets quite stiff, and for some reason my hips really hurt, and so even though he's maybe sleeping alright, I'm then waking up in pain and trying to maneuver him so I can then kind of climb over to be on the other side of him, and then sometimes I accidentally wake him and then I have to feed him, so he maybe wouldn't wake up as much, but it's just something that we are kind of trying to deal with. And another thing that I'm really struggling with the co-sleeping, despite it kind of sometimes allowing us to have more sleep at the same time, because we are doing it obviously safely, my duvet is to my hips and it's not any higher because I don't want him to suffocate from the sheets, but that means I am freezing. And I've tried double layering with clothes. I have a hot water bottle behind my back, I have one between my knees, and I'm still freezing. But I also don't want to put the heating on because I'm trying to make sure it's a temperature that is, he's not going to overheat. So I'm just trying to work out, there are pros and cons to the co-sleeping, and I think in the next few weeks we are going to try just to get him to sleep in his next to me thing, not his Moses basket, and then hopefully we can maybe get a little bit more sleep and I can just cuddle my hot water bottle and just be warm whilst it is icy freezing cold outside. So in terms of my actual scar, I'm sorry, I know I'm flitting about in between topics and stuff, and I've just gone from co-sleeping back to the scar and stuff. My head's just a bit all over the place with adjusting to obviously life with 3 children and stuff. But in terms of my scar, I will insert a picture so you can kind of see. I will do like a progress picture thing to show you guys how it has improved and stuff. So I will warn you now, if you don't want to see a C-section scar or pictures of a scar, then you probably don't want to watch this next bit. But I will show you guys the progress from with the steri strips and then when having them off, and how it is looking at 2 weeks postpartum, so you can see exactly the progress that has been made in the past 2 weeks. And I think the only other thing to really update you guys on is how we have adjusted life-wise to having a 3rd child. And I'm not gonna lie, honestly, it's true what they say about it's much more difficult going from 1 child to 2 than it is from 2 to 3, because to be honest, all our life is very much the same. All the chaos in our life is still just from the other 2 kids. He is pretty easy, apart from Obviously we're getting up on a night with him, and I do get a little bit grumpy because I just want to sleep, and I can see Fabian laid half asleep on the end of the bed and I'm frustrated trying to get him to latch. So I am quite grumpy sometimes in the morning, and I'm very lucky that Fabian will often then, when the other kids get up, he takes Oakley downstairs, he redoes my hot water bottles, and I get a couple more hours of sleep where I can actually have the duvet over me and I can just be warm and snuggled. But apart from that, he is no bother at all. It maybe makes things more difficult that if the kids are fighting and stuff, it's harder because you can't just go and break them up because you're holding a baby, and you know if you put him down he's gonna start crying. So logistics of only having 2 pairs of adult hands compared to 3 children, maybe that bit's a little bit more difficult, but generally the chaos level is exactly the same. It's just them two that like to drive us up the walls and like to fight and play noisily with each other. That is no different really. They have adapted pretty well to him coming home. I would say Lani is avoiding me a little bit, and it kind of breaks my heart. I feel like I'm having to make a lot more conscious effort to really bond with her because she just seems to be not wanting to be near me as much, and I had such a close relationship with her and it makes me really sad, and I don't want her to feel isolated, which I think Bo did when we brought her home. Lani does absolutely love him though. She constantly is saying look, look, or she says Oakley but in the cutest way, and she constantly wants to touch him, cuddle him, hold him, kiss him. She's always kissing and cuddling him. So in that sense she is an amazing new sister, like big sister, and it's adorable to see. But for the first few days he liked Oakley, but it was Christmas and he was more interested in his toys like any 4-year-old would be. But now he does have moments where he really wants to cuddle Oakley and hold him and sit on the sofa and cuddle him, and it's really cute to see. So they are adapting really well. It's just we're learning to divide our attention 3 ways now and make sure that nobody feels left out. So that is the thing that we are trying to just work on at the minute. But apart from that, I think I've told you guys everything, even if it has been here, there and everywhere and a bit all over the place. But that is just kind of my jumbled head at the minute. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you would like to see any more postpartum updates, if you want to see a 1-month one, let me know and I can do that. I don't think after 1 month there's much else I can really say. But if you would like the 1-month one and a 1-month update on him, then just let me know, and just let me know if there's any postpartum newborn videos, or like I say, breastfeeding videos. I obviously want to make content that you guys want to watch, so the best way is for you guys to tell me what you want to watch, and I will try my best to please and give you guys what you'd like to see. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing little Oakley. I will see if I can just bring him to you guys. Oh, you can see the light. Oh, there we go. That's my little baby. And he's wearing his sister's clothes, so he's wearing girly clothes at the minute, but they're not too girly because they are like a greeny colour, so I feel like I can be forgiven, whereas yesterday he was wearing much more girly clothes. But whatever, it's whatever fits, and as long as he's warm and clothed, he's not bothered, we're not bothered. But this is little Oakley, and make sure you go and check out the video of his name and gender reveal. I know you guys obviously can tell what his name and gender is, but it's just really cute footage of him being an adorable baby in his first week of life. Oh look, hi. You say hi, are you waving? Yeah. You see? Oh, there's my little baby. There you go. Oh. And his jaundice has actually improved a lot. He was a little bit jaundiced when he was born, but that has improved. So he's looking a little bit more pink now. But that is our little 2-week baby. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of this adorableness. Like, look at that. Oh, he's almost opening his eyes. almost. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. As some behind the scenes adorableness. Oh, how cute are you? Oh, we just finished filming and now you've woken up. Hi. See, this is why people should stay till the end of the video, because they get to see all this cuteness. Although you're turning away. Are you camera shy? Hey? Are you camera shy? What are you doing? Hey? Oh, there you are. Oh, you're swearing. That's not very nice. What are you doing? Hi, cutie. Yeah? Oh, hello. Oh, you're looking around. Yes, you are. Oh, you're 2 weeks old. Yeah, you're so big. Yes, you are. And I think, guys, he weighed £7 8 ounce by the time he was 2 weeks. So he has exceeded his birth weight. And I am rapidly losing my weight. I will insert what my weight was when he was born and what my weight is now very quickly, because obviously I forgot to mention that in the update. And I will also put a weight of what I was before having children, and that is my aim. So if you guys want to see anything to do with my weight loss journey once I have got the okay from the doctor, then let me know. I will see about maybe sharing stuff. My husband is a trainee personal trainer and also a kickboxing second dan black belt, so he might be doing some stuff with me. Let me know if you would like to see that. But I think that's everything for now. That's all your adorableness dose for today, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. So I also forgot to tell you guys, but in terms of the kids adjusting, one thing we have noticed that I am hoping is going to resolve soon, but Bo does seem to be hitting out a lot with Lani, like really, like he slapped her in the face the other day, which was not very nice. Oh, you're gonna sneeze. Oh, that was the cutest thing ever. That was so cute. And then Lani seems to be waking up on a night. I don't know if she's having bad dreams, so I don't know if she's struggling to adjust in that sense. But I will keep you guys up to date on my Instagram. Make sure you go check that out. I'll link it all down below for you guys. But yeah, that's another thing that the kids are just seem to have been displaying ever since this little one came into the world. What are you doing? Are you holding your nose? Hey? Is that for all the trumps that you do? Yeah? You seem to be a very gassy baby. Yeah. Oh, you scratched your face as well. Oh, you silly Billy. This is possibly a birthmark, which his brother also has a stalk mark, but he has just literally... Don't pull your eye like that, you silly Billy. I think I've cut his nails on this hand, but not on this one yet. But yeah, he's just literally scratched himself in the face. You silly Billy. Yeah, you silly Billy.